Well, it's time for the finals here at the Paladins Evie's Winter Classic. My name is Rene, and I'm joined by Hi-Rez Pretty Hair, and we're grateful that you all are joining us in this momentous day. It's a Saturday. We're in Europe.
Oh, yeah.
We're in Atlanta, but we're playing everything in Europe servers, and we're basically looking to find the best of the best in the competition that's entered into this bracket. MooseSports and a team has no name have separated themselves from amongst the crowd, and now will face off in the finals to see who will take the position of top dog this week and earn some extra points to potentially get into that playoff round.
That's right. We're headed into the map draft screen here. Timbermill and Ice Mine's going to be banding out Frozen Guard first. That is unique. We don't often see Frozen Guard first. For whatever reason, the Temple Ruins variants tend to be more popular. My opinion on that is just because they've been in the game the longest. The teams are most comfortable with them. There's nothing really up the sleeves on these, but the Frozen Guard, I would say, is getting to that point as well. Probably the outside of the Temple Ruins variants, the ones that we see the most often.
Yeah. Fishing Village, I think, is one that people haven't figured out yet, don't necessarily feel comfortable with, but it's Frozen Guard. It's time for the champion draft. Let's move into it and see what these two teams pick up and go at in the finals here. And everything matters now.
Yeah.
So getting out drafted is a pretty important and impactful thing that can happen in your Paladins game. So these teams have to be very wary of what the enemies are trying to force onto them. And of course, also looking to supplement their own visions and strategies as to why they pick this map and why they want to go ahead and play with.
That's correct there. So the Evie going to be picked up first here for MooseSports. They're very impactful with it in the previous series, but the team has no names. Going to be grabbing the Drogos Fernando dynamic duo. We explained why that was so impactful in the previous game. It's basically takes off the counter. You're always at risk of losing your frontliner to the Dragon Punch there. It's an ultimate. If you're landing the rockets, we know that they have the ability to do this at this level. That ultimate can be charged very, very quickly and catch you off guard with just how often it can be up. Swinging the team fight, immediately taking out a frontliner or a healer. Any key pick he wants, he can go after.
Well, to your point, I mean, I think with Drogos in Frozen Guard specifically, he's got that fire spit capability that in that small enclosed room, you're just forced to hit it, and it can hit up, it hits down, it hits everywhere where you need to fight. And so he's going to be a very big pickup. That's why they prioritize him as 1 and 2 here for a team has no name. Now we see Androxus get locked in, and Makii as well. And so MooseSports has a chance to answer back with two champions of their own and see what they can do to make this lineup feel comfortable for them moving into the Frozen map.
See, Barrick on his own standing against Makii and Fernando is going to be tough, especially with the Dragon Punch on the table. A lot of that team fight is going to be anchored with him. The Grok has been very, very good for MooseSports. Water's playing that extremely effectively. I'm going to be very interested to see how he holds up against the team has no name. Shaolin going to be locked in as well there. That is a very good answer to be able to shred through Shell Shield and Fernando Shield.
Fantastic answer and counter to shields. Pick up Wrecker, 75% extra damage onto starting at 1,000 base. You're looking pretty. You're looking good. You're looking like Shaolin. Let's get into the game as we step into the first of the finals here at Evie's Winter Classic. A team has no name versus MooseSports. They're going to be going head-to-head here. Makii on the side of MooseSports playing Grok. Waters will be letting it flow as Shaolin. Second, taking down Cassie, my main bay, and Sorsa will follow up with Evie while WesTo gets on to Barrick.
And for a team has no name, Leminate will be on Androxus, Respa on Drogos, SYER on Ying, Smutney on Fernando, and Bonk are going to be playing Makii this time. So these items coming out right now. All havens in terms of defense thus far here, so not paying respects to Respa or Sorsa on these blasters. All havens on the side of MooseSports. WesTo going with that cauterize, interestingly enough, there with Makii on the Grok not picking it up. We talked about why Grok was so effective at spreading that around, because just one tick of that beam that ticks every 0.1 second will be applying that cauterize debuff.
Nice pickup there as well. Shaolin forced to use it, but he knows he's in a bad spot with the Fernando, but Planet is going to come through big time, and Shaolin takes down the Spaniard who stepped too far. He just walked too close to the arrow instead of the sun there, and he is going to pay for that one. Barrick will heal up thanks to his healing station card still in his deck despite the nerfs for it, and he's still working as a very competent front line for MooseSports as they zone out 78% onto the objective, with only one chance for a team has no name to get back into it and get themselves onto the capture.
Smutny's up to the task. He's going to drop down onto the point. Hook is going to land in the backline. Sorsa takes down SYER, but Leminate is looking for it in the backline. Finds the surprise shot on the second. Takes him down. Gets into reversal. Will land it. Gets his nether step cooldowns back. Going to be retreating for now, but clips on the door. 57 health. He's going to be spotted out by Sorsa. But MooseSports already captured the point there, going up 1-0.
MooseSports look real good there, Nick. A lot of that combination of early on taking out the Fernando, was that the most important thing that happened in that fight?
So a team has a name. Yeah, losing their tank is going to be rough. We talked about Barrick standing on his own against Fernando and Makii is going to be difficult. But Smutny made it easy for MooseSports. Planet is the most effective tank shredding ability in the game outside of Dragon Punch, bar none. And just running into Water's face like that, you see him falling again. Water's just having his way with the tanks right now. He just made it easy. Water's hit almost every single shot from that Planet here. He's been so effective today here. You cannot make mistakes against Waters because he will punish you.
And he's shown that he is confident no matter whether he's playing Grok, a support, or whether he's playing Cassie, or whether he's playing Sha Lin. We haven't seen him on a hit scan yet, so that would be the only test that he has yet to pass with flying colors. Makii now with the Tempest looking to potentially support his team if they decide to push, but it's 1 minute and 20 seconds on the clock. Not sure if they want to stall without Evie going in and starting the initial aggression and creating a distraction for the enemy team. A team has no name now, looking lost in the dark, trying to find their way home, but their cell phone's dead and they don't know where mommy is, and all of a sudden Respa answers the call. And there it is, a fire spit in the air for a double kill. What absolute mechanical prowess he showed there. Triple kill, looking for a quadra. He's not gonna get it. SYER's gonna steal it from him. But wow, Respa, that was a play for the ages.
Yeah, landing those rockets are so deadly. 950 at base, north of 1100 when he has his bonus damage from thrust. And when they are connecting, the fire spits are connecting, firing on all cylinders. Drogos is such a dangerous character. 2500 health, one of the higher for those blasts, or for the damage in general. The blaster, him and Bomb King sitting near the top of that chart here. So now only 20 seconds remaining for a team, or for MooseSports to get back here, group up, and give this one more good go.
Now let's be truthful about it though. MooseSports are at a disadvantage trying to push. Most of the time the defense has a easier advantage because they can set up, see you coming. But Waters in the air takes down the Androxus in his accursed arm. So a team has no name, has no ultimate or an Androxus either. And that's not gonna help him out. It looks like the Ying is the next to fall. Cassie and Sha Lin, the two archers trying to vie for the top spot. But both of them are coming in tied for first. This damage, this pressure is too much for Respa to handle, and despite the triple kill before, second is on a double kill, a killing spree, and all of the other stats you can give him. And this Ancient Rage, though, buys him a ton of time, and because of the distance with Frozen Guard, Nick, he is going to probably save his team here unless something miraculous can happen.
The Grok here trying to buy the time. Is it going to be enough? The stall is burning quickly at this point in time. Bonkar making the big stabilization play, forced to burn Ancient Rage, but I can't think of a more noble cause for an ultimate than buying that necessary time here. A couple of interesting items coming out here in between rounds that I want to point out. The double master riding for Bonkar and Smutny. They're going to get here before Barrick, unless he goes into it himself here. That's going to be very, very crucial here for Fernando and Makii being able to prevent WesTo getting set up. Now, in addition to this, Bulldozer has been picked up on both of those characters. So they are going to be able to get here before Barrick. The second one of those turrets goes down, they are going to be just terminating it, as well as the Grok Totem. It did recently receive a buff to its HP, so that will be falling much faster as well. Bulldozer works exactly the same as Wrecker, just as slightly less intense and against player deployables.
And that's what they want to focus on, a clear focus onto the Ying, but Sorsa gets the extreme focus. A nice ghost walk by Grok, buys time, but it doesn't follow through for Barrick, and he goes down. Planet secures a ton of damage and almost a kill, but he's kind of out in the dark by himself. MooseSports are falling left and right, and the tank on the side of a team has no name is up and compiling objective points. Now, this could be huge. Shaolin goes invisible. He's creating illusions. They don't know where he is. An impale into the wall, looking to finish off the Androxus. He's pushing himself back, and all of a sudden, the Andro doesn't know where he is, but the damage from both sources is going to secure it. Haven will not mitigate both Fernando's blast shield and Androxus's direct damage, and there it is. You see, this has paid dividends, however, stalling enough time for MooseSports to get back into this game and find a way to affect this capture objective, putting 66% on the board already.
So now Tempest is available. Huge team fight swing potential from Makii. We've seen him do it before. We can see him do it again right now, but he doesn't even need it. Finds one kill onto the enemy healer. SYER Waters takes down bonkar as well, and MooseSports gonna capture the objective yet again there.
Now, with what we just saw, Nick, I want to talk about Shaolin, the brand new champion. He effectively stalled for his team. He made some really good plays. He got an impale and stun. But what is it about that Shaolin ultimate? When are the best times to use it, and why did he use it there against 4 members at that position?
Kind of at that mid-range spot where you're not going to be spotted out in your stealth there, but it's basically just an 8-second free fire for you. They don't know where you are. You are free to just full draw your shots and just move around the fight unpressured. Once you're getting pressured, that's how you get back out of pressure. It's your get out of jail card. You can use that in combination with withdraw if they get too close to you and spot you out of stealth. Now the danger here is if Makii is able to land that hook on Shaolin, it can spell a disaster for that ultimate if he's able to be terminated immediately out of that.
That's very true. So it takes a Makii understanding of where he is, and just like Sky, if you're close enough to him, he'll be able to see you. Stealth characters cannot be stealth if they're just right next to you. You'll be able to see an outline of their visage, and there it is. You see Respa taking down second, but Waters follows along with a planet and gets the kill as well. He's running cars to allow him to go and make sure that damage, that withdrawal that he has, keeps him alive and stable. Although he's being hooked by the Makii, it's not going to be stable enough for a turtle with an angry motive there who wants to kill him.
Yeah, second going to be in there just to clean up bonkar right now. Moving forward, SYER going to be very low. Dimensional linking around, trying to get healed up. The pressure is just too great. Respa able to use that propel momentum to get himself out of that side cavern there. 40 seconds remain here, so MooseSports, depending on how long this takes, don't really have the opportunity to be wiped here and give this one more good go. Water's going to open things up for them, getting that pick onto Respa before the fight even really starts.
This is huge. They do not spot out second, and this is a big problem. They're focusing on the payload card. What a hook! That could have changed the game here, and that is going to change this right now. Water's going to have to do something incredible. He's got his ult again, and will he pop it is the question. He can go invisible, and he might just do it. There he is. He's creating the illusions, but they see him because he's so close to them, Nick, like I mentioned. And that will spell the end of this push. A tie will go through, and that will lead everything level and square as they head into round 3 of this game.
I don't know that I like the call to drop the ultimate there on Shaolin. I love Waters, love his play today there, but he was one of the last of his team at that place. That would have been one hell of a play there to 1v5. All of a team has no name, and then get the conversion before the respawns. I just didn't see it happening here. Now it's not going to be available for this capture point fight. What is going to be available, however, is the Ancient Rage, is the Immortal there. The only other is ultimate on the board right now even is WesTo's Dome Shield here. And I don't see that being very impactful, especially against the Ancient Rage and the Immortal. The Dome Shield, it doesn't do a lot of damage, but it's just an incredibly sturdy shield that's going to buy you a lot of time and shelter on the point. But the damage is not really scary, and with Makii having 10,000 HP and Fernando literally not able to die, that damage is not going to have an impact.
No, but it made for some of the squishier champions away, and without that damage to back up those huge health pools, they will not be as effective and might just be sitting cannon fodder there. A really nice hook from bonkar, though, is going to slay WesTo, and now it looks like Evie could be in trouble. Second, trying to find bonkar again, and Respa gets the kill onto sorsa. Killing spree for Leminate. He's going to go in, and the reversal will land, initiating the reactivation of his nether step, and be able to find himself a little bit of respite before he goes back into this game with his team. 66% and counting onto the objective, looking to take their first lead in this match over MooseSports.
Yeah, but they're moving in. Here comes the Evie ult. the Ice Storm trying to counter it out, getting the zone. Leminate finding the pop shots here again, but the planet is just too strong. Didn't pop the reversal in time to counter that. Here comes Dragon Punch. Can he find the swing play there? Takes down second, doesn't get picked up as he has almost every other time. Huge fire spit. Double kill now, doesn't get the reset on it, but has the thrust available to him should he need it there. Floating around, gonna miss that fire spit there. Gonna be able to clean up the kill. The thrust is good as well. Overtime still ticking down here. Is it gonna be enough? A team has no name. Finally find themselves up 3-2 with a chance to close out this first game.
Respa's thrust reset fire spits are on point, and they are beautiful to watch. And I'm sure anyone looking at this can learn a lot from Drogos, being able to manipulate your body, judge the distance velocity of that fire spit, and combo that off with one of your rockets to incite that exploding area of effect damage that has been so impactful in these games. It's just a treasure, it's a treat, and I'm sure a lot of people here are learning a lot about Drogos at this point. Doesn't mean you'll be able to do it in your next casual game. As we see here, a little bit of a backdoor stall, not necessarily a push. You see the Evie sorsa there trying to just stall the payload movement and doing a good job of it and distracting the team for the meanwhile. Buying about 10 seconds for the rest of MooseSports to kind of get back and into their position.
Dragon Punch going to be available once again here to try and swing this fight. A couple of BM emotes coming out on the top. Respa so low right now, but he is going to be able to find that reprieve in the backline. Illusory Rip gets popped, going to be healing him up as well. Doesn't have the thrust available to him just yet. Misses the fire spit. All of that leads to being punished by Waters. Leminate going to be forced out. A team has no name on the back foot right now.
MooseSports is in a great position in defending. I like their point fight, and I also like their defense. Cassie and Shaolin from long range, they're great. And of course, you send Sorsa out there on the Evie to distract people. It's, you know, unless she gets hooked like she just did there, it's a great strategy to just get people not thinking about that long range pinpoint damage. Respa's here, and he's looking to find one, and he does. No ghost walk this time. He gets shot out of the air though by Shaolin, the BM from Smutney, laughing because he knows that despite Respa going down, his team is in a favorable position, yet he's not able to do anything about it. His damage dealer is having to fall back and regroup, and the pressure has been significant, provided by Sorsa, Waters, and the entire team of MooseSports alike. Nick, I really do think this is going to go down to the wire.
Yep, 20 seconds remaining here. They're doing a great job following up on Respa. Every time he Dragon Punches, he normally dies as a result there, whether it's Waters or someone else. Now Smutney holding down the payload with SYER on the Ying, trying to get it done here, dropping lower and lower. Will he pop the Immortal? No, he's just going to fall. A lot of burst damage coming through there as Evie made an appearance in the fight as well. 2-1 ticks the clock. The defense will hold, and we are in a 3-3 scenario here.
So do you agree with me in terms of my statement that the point fights seem relatively average, but I would probably give the edge in terms of defense to MooseSports, or would you then counter to that?
That MooseSports is holding better on defense?
They have a better team composition to be able to defend the long line of sights that Frozen Guard provides over a team that has no name.
Yeah, Waters on that Shaolin, Cassie, very effective at holding down the long line of sights as well. See Sorsa, like you mentioned, on Evie, just buzzing around in the back line. It's kind of tough to like keep your eyes forward on second and on Waters when you have Sorsa just buzzing around in the back line. Makii and WesTo, like we saw just then, form just this impenetrable wall of defense and damage that Fernando ran into, got shredded down almost immediately. Look at that shield. Look at how fast
Nick, what shield?
That is dropping there. Here comes the accursed arm. Finding good damage. Waters needs one more to find it. Respa will clean him up. The reversal's not going to be good. Sorsa going big in this fight.
And there it is. It's the Ancient Rage. The turtle gets even bigger. And Sorsa in the back line trying to find a kill and staying alive somehow. And that's it. Bonkar takes down WesTo. Finally, the turtle goes down. Second, gets himself in first position. But still, a team has no name. And MooseSports have yet to find a true winner out of these first initial point fights. But I tell you what, the shield is not winning. That shield is going down. The ultimate is activated. I love the decision now. He needs a nice impale. He's getting close to the Fernando. He's going to be able to see him. A nice knockback will push him into the range of Evie, and he'll get some value for that ult. And of course, he'll stay alive in the meantime, looking to get the air shots on Drogos. He can impale in the air as well if he wants to. A withdraw will dodge away. Planted is just a little delayed. His positioning doesn't allow him to impact the point, and Waters mixes it up, and the mix doesn't just taste right. 90% for a team has no name. This could be the game, Nick, and this is their last stand.
Oh, here comes the Grok, the Ghost Walk.
I was gonna say.
The Trolls, the Cassie dodge roll. These are all very valiant attempts. Here's the blink. Here's the ice storm. No ice block coming out there. Just clown fiestaing right now. Dragon punch. Well, that is like the hardest dragon punch of time. Getting hooked, pulled into the dragon punch.
Get
oh
over
goodness,
here.
Dude. That hurt. They gonna
like,
feel that one.
It's like pull someone, just punch them in the. This is
Yeah.
like that classic move that everybody wants to be able to. You know, the Bruce Lee right there. Everybody wants that one. That's what they train for in the in the dojo. My name is Randy, and of course this is Hi-Rez Pretty here. This is the finals of the Evie's Winter Classic. We're having a great time casting it for you, and hopefully you're enjoying yourself watching it. We got more action as well. There's another game coming up after MooseSports have actually not been able to pick this one up off of a team has no name, which is weird because
It was close.
a team has no name was basically down almost all of that game.
Yeah.
MooseSports had the advantage initially, but they made a change and it worked.
So if the rest of the series is going to go anything like this, it's going to be one hell of a series to watch. 18 minutes. That is a long 3-3 here on the Frozen Guard. Both teams very evenly matched, like you mentioned here. All teams putting out good damage there from Second Water, Sorsa, and WesTo, and Makii. Everyone breaking at least 70k damage, whereas the only one to do it was Respa on the other team.
That's right. And of course we got the maps ready for the next game as well. Seeing where both teams will face off again. Frog Isle is the decision. And so that is where the two teams will meet for battle in the realm. The Isle of the Frogs. And this is a lot of open space. Let's see which champions they elect to pick in the draft.
Moving forward, MooseSports will have first pick now. Will they go for the same type of team comp here? I liked it coming out. A lot of great damage like we saw on that scoreboard. Just very impressive amounts of damage coming out from both teams. I think this had to do a lot with how quickly they were able to shred through the shields and just get to those HP pools, allowing everyone access to it there. The Evie is going to be grabbed up first. This is looking like the other draft here with Drogos Fernando, the dynamic duo, as well as the Winter Witch.
I mean, how are you going to give a team has no name Drogos again unless you can't really play? I think Respa was just a phenomenal player in that game, and they're gonna let it go because they favored the Evie. And although Evie I think could be successful in Frog Isle, I just think Drogos' ability to affect that point and the area around that point with Fire Spit, it's so deadly. And I would be hesitant about giving it up, but it seems like they've got a different idea in mind and elect for Cassie and Barrick to follow along.
Yeah, so given how close the last game was, both teams seem content to just run their comps back here. We're seeing the Fernando, the Makoa picked up as well. One thing, adjustment that is being made, they're taking away the Grok this time around, which could have a very outstanding impact on MooseSports. They've been so effective with this pick, they're going to have to answer with the Pip, which is a great answer if they're able to follow up on it. You know, we say this almost every time. Evil Mojo on paper is so scary, but it's all about, can you get that 1,500 damage out in that 4-second window and take out all of those tanky threats?
It's not guaranteed. That's the problem. You know, you have all these great ideas, but it's on paper. Can you put it into effect in the game? And that's the question MooseSports will have to answer, being down 1-0 in this crucial set of the finals. Pip is going to be selected, though, so the Volpine will make it into battle, as well as Buck, who is a great flanker.
A lot of dive here.
And Androxus finishing it off, the Accursed Arm. Can never forget about that ult.
Yeah, a lot of dive on the side of MooseSports there in the Evie, in the Buck. Hell, even in the Pip, Pip's got a lot of mobility, a lot of ability to dive into the back line here, but I don't see that being very effective against a team has no names comp right now. They've got Leminate and Drogos, who are going to be up in the sky if you dive on top of them. And then you've got SYER, Smutney, and Bonkar that are going to be on the point, clumped up. A lot of shielding, a lot of health, and a lot of healing to dive through. It doesn't seem like the ideal situation to pick up a bunch of flankers. They also have some items coming out here. We're going to see the morale boost for Leminate here. Going to get that Accursed Arm online very often. Wow. We mentioned how it was Evie and the flankers aren't going to be super effective. I think Accursed Arm is going to be very effective against this MooseSports comp despite their high mobility.
And look at this, already so much damage. They just clumped up, Nick, and finally MooseSports looking to get a kill. They do not, because it's just dangerous, dangerous, dangerous all around them, and that is the benefit of grouping up and being of one mind when you start these games. It's also potentially a threat if somebody catches you out with a big ult or a big grumpy bomb and stuns multiple people, but it worked out in their favor, and MooseSports are terribly behind. A team has no name with synergy early on, and it pays dividends with 75% and looking like an objective captured without barely a fight.
You can't hardly flank against a Makii, can you? Getting plucked right out of the air there, completely controlling this fight. Beautiful team composition here from a team has no name. I'm really giving it to them hard in the draft phase, and it's playing out so far on paper and in practice right now. A team has no name absolutely rolling on this first push.
Trying to find rhythm as Waters dodge rolling away, but Respa is content to move backwards. Very nice shot in the air.
Double.
I believe that was Makii who actually ended up landing that shot. Maybe a little bit of Cassia on the side there, but the Pip is now looking to help his team stabilize. Not the most amount of healing traditionally, but he can provide some if he's looking to be a team player, and I'm sure Makii is looking to do so. The Dragon Punch is already charged and available, but doesn't look like it needs to go far. Sorsa gets right up in there and goes down thanks to Drogos' ult, and now Leminate with a reversal, catching the damage that was done to him and turning it right back onto his opponents, and now a double kill will do it. 1 minute and 30 seconds left, and this push is on the road.
That looks very burrito-esque there, with Theo rolling out with the Makii shell show, giving room for his teammates to work exactly what bonkar and Leminate just did there. Leminate was just rolling around with his personal bodyguard there, finding kills. A nice ice storm from sorsa though here, trying to swing things back in MooseSports' favor for the first time this round.
Oh my gosh, Respa, don't do it to him. You're in the air and just being so effective. This is just a man who is so comfortable on Drogos. You can tell he's played hours and hours and days on this champion. He doesn't even have to think about what he's doing. No matter what map he's on, no matter what position he's in, he is ready to land the most crucial of shots on this very hard-hitting blaster, and it's paying dividends. Waters trying to stay alive because this dragon has been pressuring him out. He is on a 1 streak though, and he wants to keep that going, but as the continued adjustments come forward, the accursed arm is meant just for him. He's not going to get him. He's actually not going to get anyone with that, but he will secure 2 kills for Respa thanks to the patience that provided, and WesTo in second go down, and this may not be a second. They may have milliseconds before this thing is turned in.
Moving out now, Leminate trying to zone, landing 1 shot. He's gonna have his reversal available to him. sorsa misses the ice blast anyway, didn't even need it. Throws the reversal out, lands it, gets another step back. Push successful here. Team has no name. Up 2-0 early.
This is a real early victory, and this is just I think a culmination of things going wrong at the first point. I think they just had no rhythm.
They got bodied in that first fight.
Yeah, and that's, what do they do moving forward now? They picked up the Rejuvenate to counter the early cauterize, so now instead of, you know, the 10%, they're basically getting 10% back off that 30% that's being mitigated in terms of healing they're receiving, making Grok a little bit more powerful, and just shutting off, excuse me, that's kill the heal, excuse me, that's elimination. So he's looking at, and that's a great card for Drogos. Talk about it.
And
that's a great card.
On Respa, no less, sitting 8-1, 8 streak. Every single elimination that he gets is going to give him that 300 HP back. This is going to help him with that Dragon Punch as well, because he's always getting poked so low and oftentimes dying despite hitting the Dragon Punches. Getting the kill with the Dragon Punch is going to be 300. You see, just boom, healed right back up to full. All the poke is healed off. He's able to get out and survive and continue having this outstanding impact on fights with our post-Dragon Punch there. Waters punishing him as he does so well, though.
And that was a very good play by Waters, and the Buck, I believe, not just on the side of MooseSports, being able to basically counter the aggression. Now, despite the fact that they're down, they did a good job of dealing with that initial backline pressure, and if they could take down Smutney here and put him in a bad spot without him being able to be healed up, they might have a chance to keep this in. A nice ult coming in actually from the Grok. He's going to keep his teammates alive, so they felt very confident about it. Second will go down. sorsa will fall second, and that's going to be the kill. And the capture point objective for a team has no name.
I mean, they're playing fine, I guess, for their draft, but I just really think this draft is very bad against a team has no name right now. You see Buck and Evie, they're trying to get in there, but they're not designed to just jump into this clump of people and do damage and survive. They have to find isolated people to pick off right now. No really impactful Evo Mojos here have come out to combat this, and that's really all that MooseSports have to lean on to try and win these fights.
That's what they need to lean on. And Sorsa, he's doing a little bit of lean in before he gets leaned a little too heavily on by a giant turtle with a very old anchor, and that's gonna kill him and take him down. A nice bit of a pip explosion from distance, but that will not do enough. Smutney cannot stop the BM, although it is tactical to see where they're coming from, to be able to see the third-person perspective and get a look around the corner without putting yourself in harm's way. Leminate with 2 kills, Respa with another, and it looks like a team has no name are just one clutch play away. A fire spit will do some damage. Kill the heal. Will it come into play? He's going to heal 300 off of that, and now he's going to get himself back into the front to zone, and it's all over.
Boom.
Zone over. Game over. 2-0 for a team has no name.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw how close game number 1 was, and then they get out-drafted. I don't know what it was exactly. They can't afford to give up both Makoa and Fernando, and then pick, you know, mobility flankers that are just so susceptible to getting hooked, as well as they gave up, or they got the grok taken away from them. A team has no name just picked them apart in the draft phase.
After a very early on game in this set that showed MooseSports having a better advantage over a team has no name, that advantage has been completely wiped away. A team has no name now has 2 wins to the 0 of MooseSports, and they're looking to clean things up in this final game and take the first place in this week of the Evies Winter Classic.
I mean, you just see the struggle here in the KDs here. A lot of people just barely breaking even on the eliminations to death ratio, whereas Respa 22-4 on this Drogos, 45,000 damage. Leminate 18-6 there, 31,000 damage. There was just no one to contest him in the sky. Water's the only one really who has a great shot, and even, I mean, Cassie here, projectiles are very fast. You know, you can give her that. But nonetheless, Drogos is flying through very fast. I believe Respa is running a Worm Jets based build here to get that movement speed flying around, and he's going to be very hard to hit despite the projectile speed of Cassie. So they just had no good answer for all these airborne threats.
Respa, he's a dominant force on this Drogos. We'll see where they're going to be playing next to see if that Drogos flight has any potential to be just as devastating as it was on Frog Isle. And Serpent Beach, gonna still be a valuable place for Drogos. A lot of area in the sky to maneuver, a lot of places to hide behind for him. We'll see if MooseSports gives up that Drogos again, or if a team has no name is gonna get their dragon that they love so much.
They have got to find a way to get a better draft phase going for themselves. They have the first pick here. Will they grab the Evie once again? It's good for them. It was not good against that comp. Yeah, I don't know if they want to grab it first pick after what just happened to them in that game. They could contest maybe the Fernando Makoa, but no, they're gonna go right back at the Evie, so now a team has no name can go straight for the Fernando Makoa again if they want it here. MooseSports have put themselves at the mercy of their opponents.
They are, and again, MooseSports going with the same tried and true strategy that hasn't worked. I don't really understand when teams do this, because I think it shows that they're not necessarily reading the game, but it also shows that they have confidence, Nick. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. If something hasn't worked, because there are always changing circumstances in Paladins, whether the items you build, whether the maps you play on, whether the the loadouts even people bring into the game, dependent on how many tanks you have on the team, that draft could work one game and not the other. So they decided their first pick wasn't the problem; it was their second draft pick, and there's the Makoa.
So immediately here, with the Evie on your team, picking the Makoa makes the Evie instantly better, because Makoa is one of the great counters to Evie with that hook. You're able to just set up so much burst damage on this squishy character. As well, Makoa is just one of the better tanks in Paladins, I feel, especially in competitive play, because the hook is just such good setup. You guys I cannot emphasize how good the hook can be. If your hooks are landing...
Is the hook good, though?
It good, though. If you're always putting your team in a 4v5 situation, it is just going to make your life so much easier.
Well, I mean, I want an easy life. I just want to sit on the couch and get
game,
kills.
dude.
Easy game, easy life. It's what we say in all the games here over at Hi-Rez. And so you see Ying, Cassie, Barrick, and Makoa, along with Evie, picked up for MooseSports, trying to turn it around. They need a win here, Nick. Is this the lineup that can get them?
It'll be the deployable nightmare. I like this, right? Because they're going to have a very strong point presence. This is a very well-rounded comp to me for MooseSports. They're going to have the Evie buzzing around in the back, which is always good to have pressure in the back.
That's nice.
Clumped up on the point, we're going to have Makoa, Barrick, Ying, deployable nightmare. Good stuff. As well as you're going to have your Cassie as well to be able to fire from long range, keeping the pressure on a team has no names front line as well.
Yeah, and that's always what you want to do. The pressure is there, but hey, pressure from the back line. Leminate's going to be on that Kinessa. SYER will be on Drock. Respa on Drogo. Smutny on Fernando. And bonkar on Androxus. So bonkar was on the Kinessa earlier, and so we see a bit of a switch up here. bonkar feeling confident.
I think that's
on that other hit scan.
That's what's going to make this team so scary is they've got so many players that can play so many things. It's going to give them so much room to draft here. The items coming out, all Havens across the board here. That is going to put a lot of weight on Respa's shoulder, and we have seen the man's got traps for days. He can hold it.
That's right. Second Makii, sorsa, Waters, and WesTo on the side of MooseSports looking to finish things up in terms of getting themselves a initial win and getting themselves a chance. But all of a sudden, sorsa with the blink in or the long range, it doesn't matter how she did it. She got the damage, and that's impactful because the Kinessa is gone. No long range damage from the sniper. And that's going to mean a lot. bonkar, however, Smutny and Respa fine to clean up by themselves. Man. It's like, you know what? You took Leminate, you took a little break early. That's fine. We'll finish up tonight. You'll get us next night. And they just seem to have MooseSports number.
So the way this deployable nightmare, it requires a lot of setup there, and MooseSports went to the high flank on the left side here from bonkar's perspective here, just to try and get an early pick, and they did find one. They did find Kinessa very early on. Immediately you got to get to the point though and start to get set up. A team has no name probably knows this. They probably played against it in scrims.
Yeah,
they're just going to keep this momentum rolling, never letting this comp get set up. They're going to capture the point right here without any contestation whatsoever from MooseSports.
If you are MooseSports, you don't need Barrick up there. You need Barrick down on the point. He needs to be on a solo mission. He, as well as Ying. You could leave Ying there. She can maybe get there with a nice dimensional link with clone deployable, helping Barrick and getting herself a little bit of extra distance from the upper ledge down to the point. But as far as I'm concerned, Barrick is not Fernando. Barrick is not the guy who needs to be leading the charge with that flank. He needs to be the guy who's doing his job, staying home. He's that stay-at-home dad.
Oh my goodness.
And if he does not do that, he's not going to be able to get himself where he needs to be. This is a good spot for him. I like Makii getting some kills, and now all of a sudden a Ghost Walk will heal up after the totem is placed. Him and Fernando, this is looking bad for MooseSports.
Yeah, they picked up the deployable nightmare comp as we've cloned it. A little bit of a fight breaking out here. The Ice Storm comes through, a Cursed Arm comes through, finds one kill here. MooseSports starting to stabilize 3-1 in this trade thus far, but still a minute and 30 remaining. And as they're looking to just clean up this Fernando show, clean up the scraps of this fight. Back to what I was saying about this deployable nightmare, Drogos is good against it, man. Like 1,000 damage with those fire spits. He's running masterful this time because he knows that's what they're going. Just great loadout adjustment. You know, side note, they're coming out of Respa. But he's able to land these back-to-back fire spits that are going to take down the clones and the turrets.
And he's looking to get a kill here as well. He goes around the backside,
and
awkward. Rarely Respa misses, and this is huge because he doesn't get the reset. He does not go into the air and get another taste of damage, and Makoa stays alive out of all things. However, Waters getting bonkar, and Leminate getting 3.
Yo, shout outs to Leminate. That's 4. That is 4. He killed Evie at the start of that fight. Makes room for himself to carry, dude.
Didn't even use his ult.
Oh my god, Leminate right now on fire.
Wow.
Still has Hunt Hunter like you mentioned.
And he could use it here. The Ying ultimate comes out, and so he's going to need a little bit of offensive pressure. Him and bonkar's looking to combine for some bonkar's damage. Waters' second goes down. He's not going to use that Hunter because he doesn't need to use it. He wants to just hit it. He does a quick restep, but Respa with the damage of AoE in his favor. He's going to get the kill. Leminate gets it as well. Double kill for the sniper!
Woo! The man can't be stopped here.
Double kill for the sniper!
NA lazy boys?
NA lazy.
Leminate showing that.
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen something like this since a Charleston back in my days, huh?
If your name starts with an L, you better pick up Kinessa here. Leminate looking reminiscent of lazy right now here. Just finding dominant play right now. Like we mentioned, in that one fight that really kind of got the momentum going for a team has no name. He won the fight against Evie. I'm not sure if it was a 1v1 or not because it wasn't on screen, but he wins the fight against Evie, gets 3 more kills for a total of 4 in that fight, and his team is able to carry that momentum through to the conversion here, going up 2-0.
Playing Kinessa is a great experience, especially if you're able to land a lot of snipes that impact the game, and he's been able to do that better than almost anyone. Sorsa looking to find a flank, and it does work, but it doesn't seem to be as effective as it's needed to be for their team. Despite getting that kill, Respa, SYER, and bonkar clean up 4 members on the way of MooseSports, and that just means that despite the flank, they are losing the ultimate battle.
They overextended hard for that kill. Especially the Cassie, it's tough to do that as Cassie. You can let Evie do it because she's got ways out, but you know, with the dodge roll, you've got, you know, you're gonna clear maybe 20 or 30 units there before you're just collapsed on like we saw, and she's just taken out for free again. Dragon Punch gonna be in and out. Respa gets the pick he needs to get, 93% on the capture point. Everything is going a team has no names way right now.
A team has no way to lose, is what it's seeming like to me. I have no idea how MooseSports will find themselves an answer, because they need to have studied for what seems like years to have passed this test that a team has no name is prep for them. There's calculus, there's trig, there's geometry, and it's like handing this to a preschooler right now. There's just too many answers that they can't comprehend the way to get to. And they're, even though taking down Knessa, that's just 20% of the actual test, and they are not fulfilling anything more. Finally, sorsa gets a little bit of rhythm, and the defense looks to potentially stabilize. She gets one here, and this is a really good play by her. She's gotten 3, but Respa again reigns supreme.
Oh, he got hit with the hook mid-air. I think died at the same time, but yeah, sorsa doing a great job there. Just found a small window of vulnerability as all of his cooldowns were down. That's kind of the most important thing about Evie is cooldown management. You always have to have some type of answer. I mean, she's got plenty in the kit. It's just a matter of not burning through them too quickly. Now, Leminate keeping an eye out on his flanks, does not want to get picked off early in this fight. He's shown the propensity to be able to win the fight against Evie, but it's not an easy task no matter how good you are.
I like the spot switch up as well. He knows that he's made himself clear where he is, and then he moves right at that moment, but he gets hooked!
He gets peeked.
And he's gonna get taken down. One hook will secure the kill for MooseSports, and they're 5-man against 4 now. Can they turn this into their favor? They've got 54 seconds to defend. No ultimates on the side except for Ancient Rage on their front line, Makii, and that will be a very valuable thing if they can take that into next round. They would not like to use that, especially since they have everywhere to go in this game. 4 points are needed to do the reverse quadra sweep, basically, in this game, and it is just going to be nuts if that's taking place. It does seem like, though, the Androxus has started things off. Makii goes down, and this could be anybody's fight here. They're both really low.
Needs to stay alive. bonkar has one more nether step available to him. Will be at 300 HP. sorsa needs to find this kill, but he just backs off. Respa's already found the frontliner and the healer. sorsa's already back. You never know where Evie's going to come from next, but finding good damage. sorsa takes down Respa here. He's going to go down WesTo as well. bonkar staying alive for so much. 59, 60, 69, 70. Charged on this ult again already. He just used it here, having such an impact here with this morale boost.
And he's going to go down, Nick, so there's no more Androxus. This could be what they needed to stop the onslaught of offense heading towards MooseSports' way. And now the Fire Spits, however, they're going to secure so much ultimate charge. They're going to secure so much damage, and this totem will sustain them all, especially with the headhunter from Leminate. They're going in. They've got the Tempest out. Respa's in the air. He wants to finish it up. He's going to knock him back with the Fire Spit. This could be the end, ladies and gentlemen. A team has no name certainly has a victory.
That was such impressive play there. Yeah, hats off to those guys. They're beautiful stuff there from Leminate, from all the guys. They were able to hold off there. I believe it was just Fernando and Grok holding. Gets the totem down, gets healed up. Tempest used perfectly to keep Fernando alive. Freaking, he got as a cursed arm up again. And I was like probably about a minute there. He had the morale boost, so he was getting that extra charge there, having such a great impact. Leminate, bonkar, all the guys just doing so much work.
It was a fantastic day. Of course, this is going to end it for us today. Let's take a look at the bracket, and a big congratulations to our winners.
Man, they look
team
good.
has no name. They looked really good, although MooseSports looked good starting out as well. Both of these teams showing a lot of promise, but a team has no name clearly having the better end. They're sweeping all the way, did not lose a game since the round of 18. So they go undefeated. They must be feeling pretty confident and look to make a statement here in the Evie Winter Classic. Who's going to challenge them, Nick?
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't be discouraged if I'm MooseSports. They were very dominant through all of their games as well. I think if they work a little bit more on their draft phase, you know, they're getting more experience. They're learning how to play with and against. You know, a good example of that would be Respa, how he got Drogos both games, but changed his loadout and play style accordingly. He went from the hypermobility in the sky to playing the masterful, the fire spit build to counter the deployable nightmare.
Counters, champion drafts, that's what Paladins has to offer. The esport is just growing, and we're excited to give back to those in the community today. That means we got a giveaway for you. Free stuff, Nick.
Free stuff.
Dude, I got to hold this guy back because you know he wants some of it.
I'm
going to let you guys get it. 400 crystal codes for 2 of you. Make sure you enter the giveaway. Exclamation point giveaway. We'll give you the link for everybody. And you only need to hit it once and follow the link. Enter in for the next couple of minutes before I announce the winners right after this. Make sure to stay tuned for us tomorrow. We got more Evie's Winter Classic coming up, and it's North America this time. Some great teams, a lot of lineup changes. We're excited to share with you. You might see some familiar old faces playing tomorrow that you haven't seen in a while. So stay tuned. And of course, as always, remember to never give up, never stop gaming, and we'll see you all in the realm.